Australians are increasingly buying nicotine on the black market, leading to a shortfall in the government's tobacco excise that could see taxpayers slugged almost $3 billion to cover the healthcare costs of smokers. Joining us to discuss it on The Debrief today, Annabelle Brett from Mix FM on the Sunshine Coast and Ben O'Shea from The Nightly in Perth. Good afternoon to both of you. So the government is now making less from excise than the cost of smokers' healthcare. Organised crime gangs are cashing in. The government policy, has it failed on this one, Ben?
Well, look, it certainly hasn't worked very well. I think everybody around the world, health authorities, thought that increasing taxation on cigarettes was the solution. They were perhaps a little short-sighted, didn't see that, like prohibition of alcohol, it drove people to the black market, and now they're buying cigarettes that are cheaper than they were before they even raised the tax on them. Someone's got to pay for this, but there are 40,000 retailers around Australia selling cigarettes. That includes occasionally illicit tobacco. Let's charge them a whopping huge licensing fee and make them pay for it and maybe reduce the number of shops selling cigarettes. Something has to be done. It's just getting out of control.
We saw a lot of this on Spotlight last night, the impact of the illicit tobacco trade. Annabelle, do you think that we should be, as generally taxpayers, should be footing the bill for smokers and their healthcare when we know that 2/3 of smokers will end up essentially killing themselves?
It does feel like we're a little bit late to the party on this when we've known that for quite some time that it's going to be a health problem. Only Australia would figure out a way to make smoking unaffordable but also popular again at the same time. I think it all starts in Hollywood. I mean, we saw Kylie Jenner. She was on the front cover of a magazine recently smoking a cigarette again. We got to get chewing gum and yo-yos back into Hollywood and make them cool again. Distract the kids. It's the only way.
Bring back the yo-yos.
Yeah, yo-yos for good.
Moving on, experts are calling for more males to work in early childcare, warning children miss out when men are excluded from the sector. Just 1 in every 25 workers is male in childcare. Annabelle, is this a problem?
It absolutely is. I'm actually married to a male primary school teacher and he is very much amongst the minority in his own cohort. It's really disappointing to see. Obviously, as a parent as well, I find it challenging sometimes. I can understand that parents are apprehensive when they see males working in childcare just because of some of the horrific stories that we've heard over the last few years. But it's not the fail of these male educators who want to do the right thing, who are passionate about this work. It's these big childcare chains who haven't done the due diligence in the past that have caused us to get into this position. I'd love to see more male educators. I think it does nothing but good, and I'm disappointed to hear that a lot of them are feeling discriminated against.
Ben, do you think more male role models at this age would be a good thing?
Oh, absolutely. I think everybody agrees that great male educators in high schools, primary schools and early education are greatly beneficial to the kids in their care. But I think, we have to have an honest conversation about this situation. And we've heard time and time again that the fear of discrimination means that in some cases, childcare centres are not subjecting male workers to the same level of scrutiny as they are female workers. And we know they are more likely to be the ones committing abuse. The University of New South Wales published something on this last year that said one study found that 5% of the workforce in early education was male, but they represented 60% of the people committing the offences. So we have to have an honest conversation. We have to recognise that the vast majority of male educators are amazing and they're valuable. We have to balance that somehow. Yeah,
there's a lot of challenges in that sector. Let's talk about digital detoxes. A 30-year-old Melbourne man is attempting to wean himself off his smartphone addiction by using an old-fashioned Nokia brick phone for a year, probably playing a bit of Snake instead of scrolling social media. Ben, could you do it?
Well, look, I was on board until I listened to this guy talk about what he's doing with maps, because obviously he doesn't have a smartphone. He can't use maps anymore. He's actually carrying a notebook around where he's sketching little mud maps of where he has to go. It sounds like a nightmare. And as someone who's got a 14-year-old daughter, and I've often wished smartphones would disappear, listening to this guy's story, I'm not sure I wish that anymore. Yeah, you've got to carry a book of maps, a Gregory's that might be in Sydney, or a Melway or something like that. You've got to carry all these extra things, a calendar with you as well, Annabelle. The Refidex would cancel it for me. I love that they argue that the doom scrolling and whatnot is terrible for your mental health. That's just because we never got to do a study on the impacts of Snake. As someone who lived through Snake, that's very underrated, dangerous.
Yeah, it is a very addictive game, isn't it?
Hugely.
Just finally, chocolate in the fridge or the pantry, because a University of Oxford study has revealed that chilling chocolate improves both the texture and the flavour. Can you put it in the fridge or not, Annabelle?
I'm going to have to effectively rule myself out of this debate. I'm a Queenslander. We don't have the option of not putting it in the fridge. I married a bloke from down south. He learned that very quickly with butter and chocolate, and also throwing seafood scraps into the bin. Ridiculous, like 5 days out of bin day. We just don't have the choice. I only have refrigerated chocolate. It's the only way up here.
All right, 15 degrees in Perth today, Ben. You can put it outside, can't you?
Oh, you can keep it outside, but I think the science is clear. Keep it in the fridge, tastes better. It takes longer to melt. You can savour it. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I like it. Hard out of the fridge. That's the way to go. Ben, Annabelle, good to see you. Thanks so much for that.
Thanks, mate.